All right, so today we are going to be talking about how you can sell your products online. And for the past 4 days, today is the fifth day. So today is day five of this sales challenge. And I believe it has been an amazing time so far for you guys on this sales challenge. Now, in the past days, there is something that you would have noticed in all the days, and that is your message and your audience is very important. Okay, when you're trying to sell anything online, okay, the message that you're trying to pass and who you're trying to pass it to is very important, because that's the only way you will be able to get the attention and be able to communicate and sell what you intend to sell. So the first thing is, of course, the audience you're trying to sell your products to. You see, back in uh, in 2018, let's go back a little bit. 2016, after I had so much success in e-commerce, 2016 I was doing um, millions every single month selling physical products online. And then came 2018, I started getting questions and all that, and I created a program. Right, it was my first. Okay, let's say the second time, because I tried selling some other digital products in the past, but they really didn't do well. So I decided I was going to teach because of the questions I was getting. So I met with my mentor Ronald, and I told him, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to, create a course and sell it to people who need it. And he told me something that's very profound and something that you should also learn as well, right? As you are beginning your journey selling products online, and that is deciding who you want to sell your products to. One mistake that you will make is thinking that your product is meant for every single person. It isn't. Okay. Your product is not meant for everybody. Not everyone wants to, um, you know, drink water, for instance. It's crazy. I met a guy. This was about 4 years ago, 4 5 years ago, and I learned the guy does not drink water. Like, he doesn't drink water. He drinks Coke. Crazy enough. And there are people who don't eat some kind of seafood, right? Because they are allergic, right? So if you try to sell seafood to someone who is allergic to seafood, of course, the person is not going to eat it, and you're not going to make that sale, right? So defining your audience is very important in this entire journey you're about to embark on, all right? So I was talking, sharing a story and about how I wanted to sell this product, okay? And he told me that I have to decide, okay, to the end of this spectrum, have the people who are here, okay, and there are people who are here. Here you have the masses. Here you have the luxury or the high-end customers, mass, customers, high-end customers. So I can decide to sell products to people who will, buy products within the range of 10, right, 10,000. Uh, of course, below is also to this group of persons, up to as much as even 50,000, right? Then you have these people right here who you're going to be selling things in 100, 500,000, 100,000, I mean, even up to a million. Okay. So he told me that, listen, Jonathan, you have to decide, okay, that you want to go for these guys' mass uh, you can call this group of people the mass market because there are more people there, right? And then all the end customers, high end customers who are going to buy, what I have to sell for as much as 500. If I'm selling for 500, yeah, there are people who are going to buy. Okay, but the people here, they are few. Okay, they're not going to be as much. So I really have to decide: do I want to go with these people, or do I want to go with these people? Okay, if I'm going with these people, I will need volume to be able to do quite some numbers. So if I'm selling a product of 10,000 and for me to do a million, I need to sell about 100 pieces of that product, that digital product, right? So if I'm selling to this market and I'm selling for 500,000, I need to be able to sell that. But of course, you need some kind of skill set to be able to sell to this group of people. Okay, and at that time, I just got started in this whole game of selling digital products online. Yeah, I've sold physical products online and all that, right? But I was just getting started. So yeah, I decided, okay, why not? Let's get started with this group of uh, people, right? And that's how the e-commerce course was born. And of course, I in 2021, I also compressed the entire training into a book, the 10x e-commerce secrets. Okay, and that is what you guys. So you have access to the book as well as the video trainings, the sit down I have with Ronald and all that. Okay, so today I want to share with you guys is how you can actually sell these product, right? This digital product that you have access to and sell it effectively um, online. Okay. So the first thing that you have to decide is the audience. Okay. Who do I want to sell this to? Okay. Now, deciding that simply means you really need to understand what this product is all about. It's a product that teaches you how to uh, start an e-commerce business, import products from China, right, and start selling for profit, right, here in Nigeria. Okay, so it's trading, by the way. So you buy low, you sell high, um, straight to the point, kind of selling system. Okay, buy low, sell high. All right, find a product that people want, right? Create a system to sell it, add profit to it, get customers to see it, right? And of course, when they buy, you deliver the product to them. Okay, so that's what e-commerce is basically. Fundamentally, that's what it is. Okay, and you have to decide who is going to need a product like that. Okay, cool. So you can now decide, okay, who do I want to sell something like this to? Okay, so you can sell this product to stay at home moms. Okay, stay at home um, moms who are looking for a business to get started with, right? You can decide to sell it to such people. You can decide to also sell it to people who um, already know about e-commerce, okay, and maybe they don't have a very good system of selling. They still are struggling with e-commerce. You can also sell it to those persons. So people who uh, know about e-commerce, okay, but of course they are struggling and all of that. So when you now decide on who I want to sell this to, the next thing is to now say, okay, what is the messaging going to look like? I'm going to share some few things with you guys in terms of the messaging and the audience that I targeted when I was selling this particular product. Okay. Now you can also decide to target people who are workers. Okay, so people who are workers who are looking for a side hustle. So people who are looking for a side hustle, Okay. So these are different groups of, there are other groups, okay, but let's just stay with this, right? So like just getting what I'm saying is that you need to define who you are trying to sell your product to. It doesn't even matter if it's this product or not. Okay. You're selling any other product, you need to decide who exactly I want to sell this product. So that was going to help your messaging, and it's going to help your messaging, resonate better with the person who is saying it. Okay, so if it's for moms, it's for people who already understand e-commerce, or people who are looking for a side hustle to get started, right? You need to decide on that. Now, once you've decided on that, of course, you now start putting together your messaging. Okay, so if it's stay at home mom, what's important to stay at home moms, right? They want to support their husband. They don't want to feel like they are a liability to the husband. They want to be able to contribute at home, right? So you want to use languages that connect with the audience. Okay, so if you are talking to people who already know about e-commerce, of course, you're going to talk about the struggles they are passing through, right? Why they are failing, for instance. That of course they know e-commerce they are failing. So you're going to talk about why they are failing, right? Maybe they're not doing things right. They are, you know, not really taking into cognizance the steps they need to take. They are not taking the right steps to be able to see the result they need to see, all right, in running their e-commerce business. Okay, so you can see that the language I'm using is different, right? If I'm going to be talking to stay-at-home moms, the language is going to be different. If I'm going to be talking to, people already know about e-commerce, the language is going to be different. If I'm talking to people, just want a side hustle, it's going to be different. So I'm going to be coming from the angle of, oh, you want to, own your own business, right? You're tired of having, living 9 to 5, staying in traffic, right? Those are some of the things that are going to connect with these people. As your pay is not enough to sort out your bills, and you're looking for something else to add to what you have to be able to, foot your bills, your family bills, and what have you, right? Such language is going to connect with such person. Okay, so it's important that you get clear. You have to be very clear with who you want to target. Okay, so you have this product, you cannot sell it to everyone. Okay, so you have to say, okay, who do I want to sell it to? Stay at home moms, people already know e-commerce, or side hustle. Now, when I got started with this, the majority of people who came into the program were people who already heard about e-commerce. They were looking to actually get into it, or they've tried it before and they failed. Okay, so what were the process of selling this? So two ways, okay, two ways that um, this was sold. So the first one is we have the ad, where we have the messaging, the creative. Of course, you guys already know what creatives and ad copies are, right? Talking to who this person is, and then we'll send them to a page. Okay, I believe all of these has been talked about. A page where we'll collect phone numbers, collect a name and email. All right, and of course they go to another page. Once they type in their name and email, and they watch a webinar. Okay, they watch a webinar, and then they click to buy. Once they are, in that frame of actually buying the course. Okay, and of course, not everyone is going to watch this webinar is going to buy immediately. So we put anyone who comes in here, or I put anyone who comes in here into a sequence, email sequence. So they're going into emails, right? Emails will be sent to them to go back to this, okay, to watch the webinar if they have not watched it, or to go back to a page where I just talk about the offer itself, what it gets when it gets when they opt in into this program, right? And of course, they click somewhere to buy. All right. Now, this was a simple system or a simple, funnel structure that I use to sell this. Okay. And another one is, of course, for this ad. Okay, have ad directly to the sales letter. Okay, so now the reason I use this. So if you're using something like this, of course, your product is probably is actually on the high. So maybe you're selling a product within 20, 25, 50, 35, you're about, right? Then of course you want to use a system like this where you are using a webinar to sell it. But if you're selling a product of 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, you can actually direct people directly to the sales later to make a purchase. So you guys already have um, access to. So if you go to your marketplace, you are going to find these 10 e-commerce secrets, and this is the sales page itself. Okay, this is the sales page already done for you, by the way. So if you're selling that, you're trying to send people to this this page, right? Of course, you have to make your page unique to you, right? You send them here. But of course, that's not going to be how you're going to do it. You want to send people to your WhatsApp. We already talked about that. Okay, because you guys are not just as sophisticated. Okay, and these things you become better at these things with time. All right. The more reps you put into what you are doing, the better you become. Okay. So there was a point that I was a newbie. I failed a lot, right? And of course, I didn't give up. I kept trying, and of course, that got me where I am, right? So you have to be willing to put in the reps. Someone who is dedicating time, someone who is coming on these trainings, these challenges, and actually going to implement will not have the same result as someone who is not even coming at all right? Or someone who comes and just listens and don't do anything. Because, like I've told you guys, that the only way you can actually grow, the only way you can have some growth is when you implement and you get feedback, right? If you don't get feedback, you won't know what exactly you're doing wrong and how to improve on what you're doing. So you have to do something, you have to try, you have to fail. And then that way you get to know exactly what you're doing wrong, go back, iterate, right? Make changes and become better, right? So we've said that the best way to do this is you have your ad, you send them to your WhatsApp, okay? So this is your WhatsApp. Let's make it like a messenger, right? The WhatsApp, and then you send them to the landing page, which is this page, okay? Because of course you want to create some kind of conversations with the people you're about to sell to. So like we said, you always want to make sure that you even read through the copy itself to know exactly what it is. Go to the course itself, read the book, right? Go through the course that is there to really understand what you are trying to sell, right? That is if you don't understand what e-commerce is and how to even get started in the first place, right? And as most of you already know, this is something that you can also do yourself and make some money for yourself. But of course, let's continue on the path that's going on. Okay, so of course the ad and WhatsApp, then the landing page where people get to click and buy. Okay, I was able to go ahead and do this because, of course, I'm more sophisticated, right? So I can spend more money to have this done than most people will. Okay, so it's best that you follow the structure, right? Why? Because you want to have a way to follow up. Okay, you want to have a way to follow up with people who are not, coming on here. You don't just want to lose people. Like here, you can see this system that we have here collects people's emails and names so that we can have a follow up and take them back to this webinar page. It's same thing you're trying to do with the WhatsApp here. You want to be able to follow up. All right. So the next thing I want to do is the messaging part. I've told you that you have to get clear with the audience because that's going to define the type of messaging that you're going to have. Okay, you're not going to have a general message, so we're just going to start e-commerce business. No, right? Who exactly are you talking to? You're talking to a stay-at-home mom. You're looking for a side, something that you can start on the side. You're a stay-at-home mom. You're looking for something to start on the side, right? There is a business that you can get started with. It's called e-commerce. What e-commerce is this. Imagine, so you can even break things down, even in your copy for your ad, right? Imagine you get a product for 5,000 naira and you can sell it for as high as 20,000 naira, right? That's a profit. That is if you're selling without ads, that's profit of 15,000 naira. If you get the product for 5,000 naira, including shipping and declaring and all that, right? And you're selling it for 20,000 naira, that's 15,000 naira profit. Okay. So, like I said, you buy low, sell high. That is what e-commerce is. And you explain all that in your ad, in your messaging. Your ad, your copy, your image, all that is your messaging. So your creative, the copy, the headline, the body copy, right? All that is your messaging. Okay, you're getting the attention, getting people to click to your WhatsApp, and of course sending them to the landing page. So selling days, what I basically targeted are people who are already into e-commerce and they're having issues, struggles, there, right? And of course, I presented the book as a solution to it, okay, a solution to their struggles and the failures they are experiencing and what have you, right? So right here, um, let me just explain a little bit more, right? So this system you have right here, this is coming from Facebook. Okay. One other thing that I would do is to also retarget people who are interacting with this ad on Facebook. Okay, so I'm going to have like two different ads. Okay, so these an ad that is targeting people who have interacted with this first ad, and I'll also send them back to this page. I just want to make that side note. That's something you can also, of course, you can also do it right here. You will target people who have interacted with this your ad, and then send them to your WhatsApp. Again, to your WhatsApp. Okay. Or you can send them to Messenger, wherever you feel like sending them to Instagram Messenger or the Facebook Messenger. You can do that, right? People who interacted with this ad. So let me show you guys some copies of the message that I used for this. So if you look at this, you see this one right here is a retargeting um, copy, right? So I'm trying to show the people who have interacted with this particular ad. Okay. So here are samples of this ad right here. You can see, say, as a journey just come, all I wanted to do was import products, start selling to generate big moolah, learn lessons. I learned my lesson the hard way. All right. So here I'm already talking to people who understand what e-commerce is. Okay. So e-commerce mistake number one that I made, I imported one funny wristwatch. I thought people would like. And by the way, this is true life story. This was back in 2012, right? So anyway, without first finding out if anybody, so blah blah blah. I talked about the second mistake, and then I talked about the eureka moment where I not discovered that thing that just changed it all, right? Right, and of course, I finally decided to sit down to my homework, right? Because using what I learned from my mentor, okay, the next product I imported brought in over 6 million, right? So why, right? So if you read this and of course you're struggling, right, to make money in e-commerce, of course it's gonna get your attention. And by the way, all of this is a true story, right? It's not copy for the sake of it, right? I was able to find an underserved market with a burning need for a particular product. There are a number of reasons why many people are getting not getting their desired results. So what's that, right? The two listed above are just a few, but if you can keep them in mind, blah blah blah. And here is something: as far as e-commerce is concerned, if you have a product what we want, you struggled. So now I'm transitioning into the solution itself. Okay. So the trick is to know what people want. And on page 45 of my new book, The 10X Commerce Secrets, I reveal four things, right? So this is something, now I'm transitioning to the solution, where what they can actually learn. The solution, of course, is in the book, right? So what are they going to learn? I talk about it inside here and I say, okay, go ahead. If you are ready to get the book, it's just going to cost you this, right? Go ahead and get it, right? So that is that. So that's angle, excuse me. So that's an angle, right? Now here is another copy that also works well. So this is a copy that was targeting, people who are looking to start a business. Okay, so people who are looking to start a business online, and it's more like a story type of copy, right? Where it says the old perfect business, and then I told a little story, and then I transitioned into e-commerce, right? And I explained what briefly explain what e-commerce is: buying and selling using the internet, right? Yes, e-commerce many people call this mini importation. All right. Then I explained a little bit what it is, and I said, of course, if you want to get started in e-commerce, there are few some things that you need to do, and there are certain things that people are getting wrong in the marketplace, right? And then I mentioned who I am, right? All of this in the copy, right? In the the message that I'm trying to communicate with the people, right? These are copies that like regarded as pre-sale. You're prepping the person, keeping them, making them in a frame whereby they get to a point where a frame whereby they can actually take action. And that action is clicking, right? Either they are clicking directly to the page or they are clicking to um, your your WhatsApp, right? So any of them. Okay. So when I look at the e-commerce marketplace today, making the mistakes. So I've talked about the mistakes that people are making. So if you want to avoid all of these mistakes, I've detailed a few things in my book or in my training. Go ahead and get it, right? So that is those are two angles that I made use of that really work so well. Yeah, I also used the mom angle some time ago, and it did fairly well, right? So these are angles that you can use. You cannot what the thing that you can do wrong is trying to say, oh, I have this thing, it doesn't matter if you're a stay-at-home mom, you're looking for a side hustle, you've done this before, you failed, right? No, be specific with who you are actually talking to, right? That way you can, your messaging, the language you use can resonate better with this person. Okay. So these are the messaging that I use for these and actually did fabulously well. So let's look at some creatives that I made use of there. So here are some creatives, different creatives right away. So you can see these are images right here. You can see these are image, these are image, these are image. These are image that I make use of. Yeah, at the time it was a physical book, right? But then after selling a few thousand copies, I decided to stop because it has to do with lots of logistics issues, right? So I stopped and I was just selling just the digital version of it, right? So here are some some images that I used to sell it back there. Look at this one right here. Uh, Let me see if I can open that up. So here is another image. So that's images of me, right? Now the reason why I have to test different images is that you really cannot tell, really, you really cannot tell what's going to get the attention of people. So you want to test different images, you want to create different videos. You can see this is a video, right? This is a different video, right? Uh, this is a different video. This is a different video. Okay. All these are images. Okay, we have some videos here. You can see these are different art videos. So you have to test different creatives because you can't really tell what's going to get the attention of people. So you can see this is like a creative. This is another creative. Uh, this is another one, right? So you can see here is another creative. So this is what was like a retargeting creative, right? Getting the attention of people, make them see more like a social proof kind of thing that see people are actually getting this thing and all that, right? All right. So anyway, you have to use different creatives to be able to drive people to either the page if you are doing page or to your WhatsApp. All right. So most of you are going to be WhatsApp. So you have to use different images, try different images, try different copies. I know some of you are camera shy. If you're camera shy, then use images. All right. Use as use test different images and see what is working and then do more of what is working. Right. That is what you want to do. Okay. So once you have that done, the next thing that you probably are going to be worried about is okay, how do I set up? What should I look at? I'm not going to go into the ads manager and all of those, but I'm just going to explain, um, you know, the things that you should, because of course I've already, had trainings on Facebook ads and we've talked about all of those, right? What you want to do is to make sure that you're choosing the right objective. Okay, so the right objective in your case is going to be message conversions, right? So if you click on lead, choose the lead objective, you should be able to choose WhatsApp, um, where you get your leads, and of course, then you need to now choose, uh, the destination. We talked about how you need to link your phone numbers to your pages. You link your phone number to your pages. One thing that you need to decide to do is if my audience, for instance, are people who already know what e-commerce is, right? I'm going to go to the interest level. Uh, to that is if you're going to a land now, the only way you're able to do interest for WhatsApp targeting is if you are sending people to a landing page where they now click a button to go to your WhatsApp. Okay, to go to WhatsApp. All these have been explained what these are before, right? But if you are sending people directly from your ad, right? So this is your ad, and you're sending them directly to this, Facebook is not going to allow you to choose interest and all of that. because the machine will just going to find the right people for you based on your messaging. That's why you need to be specific with who exactly you want to target, right? You want to target people who already know what e-commerce is, and maybe they are struggling and you want to present this as a solution to their struggle, or you want to target people who are looking for a side hustle and looking for a business to start, right? So you need to decide that, because with what you give the Facebook algorithm, right, is what the algorithm is going to use to find the right audience on Facebook for you. Okay, so most of the work that you're going to do is outside of Facebook, right? The creatives that you are going to use, the message you are going to use, right? After this training, I'm going to share these two copy here with you guys inside of the group, so you can actually use model them and know exactly how to use them to your advantage, right? So of course you choose the right objective, choose the page you have linked, and send people to your WhatsApp. Using the creative and the image that you have. All right. So that is how you can have this sold on online on Facebook. Right. The most important thing is getting defined with who exactly you want this for. Okay, you don't want it for everyone. There are people, specific group of people. You want to do mothers. So if you're a woman, you probably want to do mothers and communicate with mothers, because of course you're a woman, you can actually interact with them better, right? Or it doesn't matter, you can also go the route of people who already have heard about e-commerce. They are looking for how to get started in e-commerce, or they're struggling in e-commerce. But the point is, you have to be specific with who exactly you are going to sell this to, right? So that should be about it. Well, what I'm going to do is to take a couple of questions from here. Okay, a couple of questions. So if you have questions, just ask. How do we set up our advertising page? There is a training on Facebook on how you can set up advertising. A couple of them, like a couple of them. I can start, going through all of that process, because there are trainings, in the platform already. Even inside of the group, you will see training that shows exactly um, how you can, set up your ads right on Facebook. Okay, so what I'm just going to do is to share the creatives. There are creatives you can have, but I'm going to share, also give you guys. I know I already gave access to these creatives, but I'm still going to share these inside of the group. Okay, share these creatives inside of the group that you guys can also make use of, as well as the copy that you guys can model and use for your promotions. Okay. All right. I believe, I guess, there are no other questions. Since there are no other questions, that will be the end of today's training. Tomorrow, we are going to have another training, and we'll talk about something along the line of Facebook advertising. So you want to make sure that you show up for tomorrow's training. All right. So tomorrow, I will see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, we'll talk about Facebook and how you can actually sell the Facebook course to people online. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care and bye.